Welcome to Sports Idiot Nation. Today we will find out why the Indiana Hoosiers are the number one college football team in all of the land. Also, why the big dumper is not taking any meaningful dumps. And we'll find out why you listening right now, yes, you're actually better than the New York Jets.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. Congratulations, Katy Perry, on dating Justin Trudeau, I guess. We aren't going to talk anymore about that because the Hoosier Bomber is back because the Hoosiers are blowing up college football.
This is Sports Idiot Nation. I'm very excited for IU football, not as excited as you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to speak till I can no longer sit. This is the greatest moment of my life. We could be here till next Saturday when we beat Sparty by 90.
I'm cramping. Hey, we beat Sparty. You're welcome.
You guys actually, we'll have to watch that game, but we're a week away from prepping that. And how UCLA can play football.
Yeah, let's give IU
this magic moment, which a buddy of mine was always joking that he calls Oregon the magicians. We're like, why do you call that? Because they're all smoke and mirrors. I think they're better than smoke and mirrors. I would like to have credit for beating a good team on the road like that. It's hard to pick a particular talking point to start with other than I have been through it with this team in ways most IU fans haven't, because not only did I go to school there, and most IU football fans, you went to IU because there aren't random IU football fans unless you started bandwagon in the last couple of seasons. I was at work Sunday morning, so yesterday morning after this game at like 4 a.m., and I go in there, and the first guy I see, I don't know him too well personally, but he looks like a sports guy. I was like, hey, yo, man, you went to college football by chance? He's like, oh, yeah, man. Good day at games yesterday. And I just look at him because, again, I'm in Texas. So Indiana football fans are few and far between. Right. And I go, hey, man, I went to Indiana. And he looks at me. He goes, "Oh shit!" He's like,
"Best friend, let's talk."
Yeah, that's what's good. And he's like, "Dude, I don't know his name, but who's that receiver y'all got? That boy is cold." And then, of course, I had to come back. I'm like, "Which one?" Now, obviously, Elijah Surratt had the biggest game, but I'm telling you right now, Omar Cooper is going to be the stud in the NFL. Remember that one-handed snag he had, and then guts his way forward for a first down. I'm telling you, I'm like, dude, your Niners are going to end up with Omar Cooper. I don't know when, I don't know how, but he's going to be a San Francisco 49er someday. You're going to be a very, very happy man. I genuinely came into this game believing that Indiana was going to lose, and I was okay with it. I was at peace with it, and I shouldn't be comparing last year's team to this year, but there's so many parallels. Obviously, it's the same coaching staff. The stars are similar, different quarterback. But the pieces, by and large, were very much the same. And when we had the opportunities in the big games on the road against the two best teams in the country, because they were in the national title game together, we just got bullied. And that's okay. I'm fine with that because of who we are, what we've been through, and where we are heading. It's a good start. So I was like, okay, as long as we're just competitive and just show that we belong, and I've said it on this very program last week, I just want to show that we belong in the playoff. Now it's flipping to, we have no excuse but to win the national championship now. And like, I mean it.
How did it jump? Like, that's crazy. Because I don't disagree. I want to tell you a story. So you and I coached in Fort Wayne at the local high school. There are a few professional athletes to come out of this school, and at the time, this was probably now what, almost 8 years ago, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a player that didn't go to that school but was on pace to, but went to a private school instead. And I got into it with, and he's a beast of a player at Iowa. And I got into it with his dad on Facebook. And here's the post. You saw this post because you commented on it. So I just posted the IU football helmet, and all I said was, it's weird living in the state that has the best college football team in the galaxy. It's almost awkward because I've never lived in a state that had the best. Like, I never have. It's
Yeah.
just like, wow, interesting.
And we have Notre Dame here.
But since
just
I've
to
lived here,
remind
Notre Dame's
people,
never.
I know, no, I'm just
Right.
saying to remind the folks, we do still have Notre Dame up in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, in Ball
And
State.
that's how, who
The
almost
Harvard
beat
of
Notre
Muncie.
Dame one year, but I
The
digress.
Harvard of Muncie. Yeah.
No.
So,
Proceed.
all right. So here's the story. I make that comment, and people are getting fired up. Yeah, like, blah, 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 blah. And there's one guy, they're not that good. And it's this guy's dad. And so I get into it, like, all right, let's go. Like, tell me how they're not the best team. And here was my argument. First of all, there's only two teams that you could possibly argue, simply because yesterday the AP poll came out. It's right there in front of you. So technically, there are only two teams that you can make an argument for. And here's what I said. Miami, not a signature win. There's not a team that they have played, and you could say they played poorly at times against teams that are not it. So Miami, no. I will take the Oregon win at Oregon, mind you. I will take that over any of the wins from Miami, so IU leapfrogs them. Okay? Ohio State, same boat. They're in the same boat. They have not they don't have that signature win.
We thought they did. We thought they did.
Right. Exactly. And that's my point. As of today, Jerry Rice's birthday, today, as of today, IU is the best team in college football. Now, in my heart of hearts, I just got to be honest. I don't think they may be the top team in 7 weeks from now, let's say. They may not. It doesn't matter. We're not talking about that. I'm only talking about right now. And the argument is, yeah, but will they beat Ohio State? First of all, they don't play Ohio State until the Big Ten championship, okay?
Assuming that'll be the matchup, yeah.
Okay, but I'm just saying they don't.
Ohio
they're not
State
on the
has
schedule.
to beat
So
Michigan, right?
But
regular
I'm just
season.
trying to tell you, like like. So he said, "Will they beat Ohio State?" What are you talking about? They're not on the schedule. That's one.
Right.
And two. Again, when he says his other comment was, "Well, they're not ranked number one." I already commented. Miami and Ohio State doesn't hold water. I already got that out of the way. I already said that. So for him to say that after I commented, I'm like, are you even reading the comments? You're bringing up stuff that I already knocked
he already
out of
had
the
his
park.
arguments. It didn't matter what you said, Adam. He already had his arguments in his head. And again, how people vote in an AP or coaches poll doesn't equate to who the best team in the country is. There's a difference between being ranked number one and being the best team in the country. So if I may, as the Hoosier over here, I love seeing the post of Indiana football based off of recruiting rankings. Their 247 Sports composite score makes them the 72nd best team in the country based off recruiting rankings. That's 3 spots lower than a school called Boston College, who still has a football team and lost to Sparty.
I saw that.
So showing how great the coaching is, getting experienced guys, production over potential, which is so critical in the transfer portal. SIG understands that, and having 22, 23-year-old men that are experienced, that are more mature than 18, 19-year-old five-star athletes matters. So let's go back to what you mentioned about signature wins. I would contend that Texas A&M is probably above Ohio State and definitely Miami. So the win over Notre Dame, both have. Miami was at home, had a win on the final drive. Texas A&M did it the week or two following. It was the next game for Notre Dame. They had a weird bye in there. But Texas A&M does it at Notre Dame Stadium. That's a better win. Miami still has not left the state of Florida. Miami Hurricanes do not leave the state of Florida till November 1st. That is insane. They have a big one coming up against Louisville, but it's at home, and Louisville's not ranked. They lost that game to Virginia.
Look, Miami only beat Florida State 28-22. That's it.
Which they gave up that lead, but Florida State was charging back, and they damn near took it. Miami had built that big lead, and at the time, we're thinking, oh, Florida State's still a quality team. What Miami's doing? They're the best team in the country. Florida State charges back, and then Florida State follows it up by having a hangover and losing to Pitt at home. So we're realizing, ooh, maybe Bama's not that good because Florida State beat them, and now Florida State has 3 losses. Now, of course, that argument remains with Indiana. Oh, their win over Illinois. Well, Illinois is not that good. Well, because we beat them by 1,100, you think they're no longer good. Guess what? Illinois still beat USC. And newsflash, folks, USC's a good football team. They proved it this last week. Big one at Notre Dame this week. And now Oregon Oregon's win at Penn State wasn't good because Penn State sucks now. Well, go back and watch the film. Everyone that says that did not watch the Oregon-Penn State game, unlike myself that watched that game 3 times because on Peacock, you can go back and watch those replays. Penn State at full strength is a legit top 5 team. People don't remember going to that UCLA game. They didn't have their best player on defense, who's the true anchor and leader of that team. Not only on the field playing, he in the locker room, he's their number one guy. So Penn State goes in that game hungover from a tough home loss against a very, very, very good Oregon team. And then without your best player, I mean, suddenly you're down huge when you have to go up against a 5-star quarterback, which Nico finally showed. Yeah, he does have some talent after all. So Penn State was hungover. You're playing 3 time zones away. Now the opposite way, trading back for Oregon, coming out east. They were not interested in that game, at least not till like the third quarter when they started fighting back. And then after you lose that game, their season's over. Every expectation they have is now completely wasted. And then obviously you lose he was supposed to be your star quarterback, goes out. So of course you're going to lose to Northwestern that game. Everything was done. So Penn State at full strength, I completely believe they were a top 5 team. Again, don't believe me, go back and watch the Oregon-Penn State game on Peacock. Penn State is actually a very good team when they have everyone there and actually have something to compete for. They're not on the level of Oregon, and guess what? We're going to see it here in a few weeks. They're not on the level of IU. Again, without their quarterback, there's an asterisk to it. But the game's still at Mount Nittany, and that game's still going to be tough for the Hoosiers to win in a stadium they've never won before. Now, getting back to the whole argument of scheduling, Miami does have a solid win, but at home against South Florida. And South Florida is just, they're not even Illinois. Like, South Florida's a good team, and they have a cute win at Florida themselves, which Miami also does, and that win's no longer relevant, just like Florida State. So Miami, sorry, your good wins, they're good wins, not great wins, are at home against teams that are ranked 15 to 20. IU, we have 2 top 10 wins now. And if you want to say Illinois doesn't belong in the top 10, well, yeah, we know that. But Illinois is still going to end up at absolute worst, 9-3, probably 10-2. Illinois really should run the table now with the schedule they got ahead of them. And then Oregon, they have the trap game at Iowa, which, newsflash, Indiana won at Iowa. And you bring up that story about that Iowa fan. Iowa is a damn good football team, especially at home, and Iowa will probably beat the brakes off of Penn State.
Yeah,
that's at
but don't get beat by Iowa State though. Like you can't.
And that's
say anything.
But that game's at Iowa State. It's a rivalry game on the road.
Doesn't matter. You went to Oregon and won. That's a tough game.
But guess what? Iowa
and you won by 2 scores.
But here's the thing. Indiana is an elite team. We can win both at home and on the road. Iowa is just good enough to win these big games at home. And they're going to give Oregon a game. Oregon's only chance to get tripped up the rest of the way, the only really hurdle they have from going 11-1 is that game at Iowa. Keep an eye on that one coming up as well. So IU is going to end up with 2 wins over teams that will end up in the top 15, at the very least top 20. But then let's go to Ohio State.
So here's
what has
their
Ohio
schedule.
State done?
Here's
What has
their
Ohio
schedule.
State done?
I have
Go ahead,
exactly
Adam.
I have exactly their schedule. So you talked about that Texas game. 14-7 is so odd, and they looking back now, they should have
where was
really
that game
put it
at?
on them.
It was in Ohio Stadium.
Right. All right. So then, Grambling State still never showed up to the stadium. It was 70-0. Okay, fair. Ohio, I can't believe they gave up 9 and only scored 37. To be frank,
And that game was a 1-score game in the third quarter. People won't remember that. That game was 14-9 in the third quarter.
Okay. Speaking of that Washington game was close until it wasn't.
And
as
Washington
well.
is not good. People are like, oh, well, Washington.
And they did have to go
talent.
there.
Sure, they do, but
it was at Washington. 24-6.
Give me a break.
Minnesota.
Scrubs.
Rick Pitino's son
survived. Right, we're coaching football now. Minnesota just survived Purdue at home.
42-3. Then at Illinois is probably their best win. 34-16.
The fact that it was on the road, a win at Illinois is better than a win at home against Texas 14-7.
So you tell me, at Oregon winning by 10 or any of those, Grambling 70-0.
Oh, like here, I'll give you another one. What's better than winning at Illinois by 18 is winning at home against Illinois by 53. Yeah, being home and away isn't a 35-point difference. Sorry, it's not.
Go. So now they are at Wisconsin. You've mentioned
terrible.
On this.
Wisconsin's horrible.
But
they are horrible.
Not always an easy place to play. It won't be a signature win.
Year. No one's going to be at the game. Sorry. I watched them play at home against Maryland, and Maryland beat the shit. Wisconsin's horrible.
Then now we thought this Penn State game was going to be sexy, and now it's ugly. Then they're at Purdue. That should be 70-0. I'm actually excited because November 15th, UCLA, we'll talk about that soon. They're picking up steam, obviously. Again, we're going to talk through that. But I am feeling about that game the way that you're feeling about this last weekend's game for you. Like, I just want to show like we can belong in the same stadium. Like, that's what I want to do if we're picking up steam by that point.
Where is that UCLA-Ohio State game at?
So it's at Ohio State.
You're fucked.
Cool.
That was fun while you talked through that, and then I had to ruin it for you.
Then Rutgers, and of course at Michigan this year.
The only chance Ohio State has a chance to lose.
Yeah. So again, you look at that schedule now of them being 6-0. There is not a way that you leapfrog them over IU based on what IU has done. You just does not hold water.
The only reason Ohio State is number one, they are the defending national champions
and that's
until further notice.
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't. That's fair. We're just keeping it real right now. Like, that's fine. You can say they're number one. Like, okay, I agree. But like, we know because every year's different. That quarterback's not there.
There's a major difference between the AP and coaches poll and the actual college football committee ranking the teams. If IU was third in the CFP poll, then I'd have a bone to pick. But the good news is it doesn't matter. IU controls their own destiny. We have to run the table. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to start thinking about having that conversation with your children about a 12-0 Indiana football team. It really might happen. We get through the rest of the schedule at Maryland. That could be a little tough, and still at Penn State isn't the easiest thing in the world. We still have to take care of business against UCLA and everyone else. Got it. but we should absolutely be 12-0. And at that point, we go to Indy and have that opportunity to prove ourselves, probably against Ohio State, unless y'all decide to blow it once more against an inferior Michigan team. And now you have to do it in the big house this year. You should
Even
have
if you
killed them last
lose,
year.
you still make it to
Yeah.
the playoff.
Indiana, you're saying? Yeah, absolutely. At this point,
I mean, that's what's cool.
The
That's
only
what's cool
thing
about
that
it.
holds us back is a catastrophic injury. Dear God, protect Fernando Mendoza. Hallelujah.
At all
Amen.
costs. Yeah. Let him
Yes.
sleep in a chamber.
Yeah, right. That's like coffin. I don't want him to be in a coffin. No, we need him very much alive.
So, speaking of alive, the UCLA Bruins have scored 58 points in their losses. Multiple games, that's all they scored. In 2 games back to back, they dropped 80. So, you talk about like coaching matters. I mean, like, I'm so frustrated. It goes way back to when we were making fun of the press conference from Deshaun Foster. Like, is he a coach? Does he know what's happening? Like, bro, that's not. This guy's like running the whole team. Like,
from Media Day 2024, seeing his saying, yeah, we're going to go back. If you have not seen his Media Day, not for this season, but 2024, when he took over the team, it was at that moment I texted him and said, you boys are cooked.
yeah,
This guy. And they could not get rid of him fast enough.
At
Barely
that
last
point,
a year and a half.
I don't want him to be even like the running backs coach or like, you know, like to
associated with the institution in any capacity.
He needs to be in an institution. Check him in. So,
but now you have a head coach, an interim head coach that has passion. He got screwed over at Fresno State, which I've been.
You got
and Neuheisel, your offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
that's guys actually care about the program. Got it. Okay, they have passion for not just college football, but
and they're rallying around
school itself. Yeah, and they have awesome talent, dude. You have on paper one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He just hadn't shown it yet. I was going to say hadn't had the chance. Oh, he's had multiple chances and opportunities, but he's starting to get it together. And then that Penn State win, dude, it's nothing but confidence. And going into East Lansing, which is not the easiest place to win, we all know that, and they took care of business. Michigan State is not a good football team. You better prove that this week at home,
little brother.
But UCLA and Michigan State, in my mind, were the same level at that point with what UCLA was able to accomplish, but still not a great team overall. You know, the upsets happen. That's what makes college football the greatest sport in the world. But I was like, oh, UCLA, you have a chance to win on the road, and you took care of business. So I love having a week where both our schools get a conference road win. More of that. I'll take it any day of the week.
Yeah, I'm wondering, who else do you think from this past week, based on their performance, showed you that they are fraudulent? What fraudulent activity did you see this past weekend?
Saw a good bit of that, but there's a school in Oxford, Mississippi, that was beyond embarrassing. Ole Miss survives Wazoo. There's a school behind me that got beat up by South Florida, a school that we've mentioned here earlier. South Florida's a decent team. They have a playoff chance as a group of 6 team. North Texas beat Washington State by 57 points.
At all?
Again, I repeat, 59-3. North Texas beat Washington State. But Washington State goes to Ole Miss and barely gets clipped at the very end. Ole Miss had to come back and win it. Pitiful. Absolutely pitiful. And really the rest of the SEC for that matter. I mean, Georgia, Auburn should have won the game, but Auburn, T.I., thank you for that. But Georgia did not win that ball game. Auburn gave them the game. Georgia is not that great. Alabama's okay. They're not elite. I'll tell you this, Indiana right now be the best team in the SEC. And I don't even think it's close. We're arguing they're the best team in the entire country.
That's hilarious.
That's fine. You want to argue with Miami or Ohio State, but it's not even close right now. The Indiana Hoosiers are the best team in the South.
So you mentioned you mentioned Washington State. Did you know that it was actually 59-10?
Oh, they got a garbage touchdown. Mia
They did.
culpa.
But
The garbage touchdown at the end.
no. Here's what all that to say. They actually lost, giving up the same amount of points the very next week. They gave up 59 points 2 weeks in a row.
Wow.
I don't think you realize that.
But Ole Miss with that 3-point win at home only fell from 4th to 5th in the poll. Yeah, so we're going to take the AP poll seriously, and they still have Ole Miss in the top 5.
And that
GTFOH.
Yeah, like what are we doing? Yeah, IU is the number 1 team in college football.
Thanks, you said it, not me yet. Yeah, for now.
Like, look, I get in 2 weeks things can change or whatever.
Oh, of course you say 2 weeks because that's when we play UCLA. Got it.
Well, I mean,
I see what you did there.
I'm pretty sure. No, just we'll see. But for this very second, as you are listening live to this program right now, there's no debate. You're just going to sound stupid. It's very obvious. There's no team that's undefeated that has that type of a signature win. There just isn't. We're too early in the season. It doesn't exist yet. It's only IU. So just calm down, shut your lips, and let it wash over you. And it's not that big a deal. You're not going to die. I swear to God. Just believe.
Indiana football being good may be a sign of the end times. They said that the world was going to end in September. A lot of folks were saying that rapture. Maybe the rapture did happen because the Indiana Hoosiers are the best team in college football.
If you talk
to
Purdue
fans, the parallel universe,
they will say, that scene in what is it? I Love You, Man, where he doesn't want to golf with women because
this is my nightmare.
You talk to Purdue fans, and this is absolutely like it wasn't that long ago that Purdue was considered like a decent football.
Oh yeah,
like not a laughing stock, And if you would have told them when Joe Tiller was winning games back then that just wait, have your laughs now, Purdue, have them now while you can because I use a coming, they'd be like, whatever. See cow.
Yeah, and they're going to be really upset when Barry Odom leaves that school after 1 season. I'm calling it right now because the dude can flat out coach. I'll tell you this: I've watched Purdue play a couple times now. They don't have the talent. We know that. That's obvious. But they play their ass off, and that scares me. Not right now. It scares me for 2, 3, maybe 4 seasons down the road. But Barry Odom's going to up and leave. That Oklahoma State job, he's from the state of Oklahoma. That Oklahoma State job might be calling his name back to the old Big 12 country.
So Barry Switzer's not coming out of retirement?
They have to revive him, resuscitate the dude. I can't believe he's like, 93 now, still alive?
Something. We saw him on that Dallas Cowboys doc a couple months back.
He looks good. He
does
good.
For 117. He does.
Right. Still letting his players do coke and women.
That was like unreal. That watching that doc was just crazy. Jerry's world. Different world to live in. All right. Let's shift to some drama last night. Let's talk the storylines of the Final Four for baseball. But here's what I like to do. I've been doing this since I was a kid. I've been in my mind visualizing the possible outcomes for the winners and thinking through, can I live with this? Like whenever it's the Dodgers, I'm like, can I live with this? No, they better not win, But like, when like the Cubs or the Indians or teams like that are in the Final Four of baseball, I'm like, okay, what are the storylines here? Oh, Kenny Lofton, he's left-handed. I like him. That'd be cool for him. You know what I mean? Like these are the things that 10-year-old me. It still
you have
happens
your
now.
list. You have your priorities, and I know Southpaws are definitely top 5 for you. I mean, it might be top 1. But one. Yeah. Of course, you bring up, is he left-handed? Yeah, okay, I can deal with him.
So let's break this down. You have, let's go with last night. So I had joked in the group chat that, it's not that I don't like the big dumper. I don't mean to dump on him, but I'm just being honest. And look,
Observational.
yeah,
You're
and
being
I'm not
observational.
a
That's fair.
I'm a Yankees hater. So just know that this is coming from a place of hatred. But Aaron Judge, like we talked about this, Aaron Judge is for sure the MVP because 30 of Cal Raleigh's home runs were when it was like the 8th inning and it's 8-2. Like it doesn't really hold as much weight. And then even in the playoffs so far was the same kind of thing. And when he wasn't hitting a home run, he was stranding men on base by striking out. And last night, finally, the tide turned, and I'm willing for now to stop dumping on the big dumper. I'm willing to do it because it was a close game. He had the go-ahead, home run, and Jorge's the man. That dude from the Twins that came over. Look, here's another notation I'll give on my thesis here, that Cal Raleigh is not even the most valuable on his team. How could he be the most valuable player in the American League? Like
That's matter.
It's crazy.
I made the joke to you. He's the Kirk Cousins of the MLB of home run hitting, the stat stuffer. Can't get it done. But I was already disproven quickly because of what he did in Game 1 of the ALCS. We'll see how he matures throughout the series. But
here are the storylines.
For one night at least.
So here are the storylines. I do like how they do that Aquaman thing in the dugout. The trident. Like whoever does really good, they walk them through, and the guy has a trident, and like, like that's pretty cool. Seattle,
King of the sea, king of the sea, under the sea,
king of the castle,
under the sea.
King, I hit the home runs, already up 8-2.
Very nice, very nice.
How much for a World Series trophy? How much do I kill a gypsy? So that storyline plays. I think it plays. Seattle. Their jerseys are close enough to the San Jose Sharks colors that I kind of dig them. So I'm like, I'm in.
Okay, that's 3 on the list. Colors similar to my favorite team in a different sport.
So I think you would agree the storyline of the Seattle Mariners plays. Where no one's going to be upset if the Seattle Mariners win it. Okay, then let's shift to Canada because I don't want them winning.
They're not your friend, buddy. They're not your buddy guy.
Not pal. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. I don't mind any of the players. I am sad that Bichette is not playing. He's not cleared yet because I loved his dad. Just watching his dad play, and it's like, oh,
Dante.
I want to see him play, and he's not on the roster. But other than that,
Bichette.
Yeah, I blame Canada. Right? I don't want
them
to win.
I think you're making the argument for Trump's tariffs on them right now. You're
right.
Like, triple those tariffs if the Blue Jays, the BJs win it all.
Wrong.
Damn it.
You're wrong.
Yeah. Toronto has a baseball team. Wrong. It's fake news. They don't even have a team. Yeah. It's a myth. They're not even there. Figment of your imagination.
Big Daddy. Hooters. Joe Carter.
And even as my AL team being the Texas Rangers now, I have a soft spot for Seattle. Part of it, a core memory of mine, is going up and watching Felix Hernandez. Absolutely
King Felix.
Deal. And I got to see him in a Cy Young year, too. He had, I think, either a 500 or a losing record, but you realize in Major League Baseball,
he was 10-11. He was 10-11.
And like a 1.32 ERA. Yeah, their offense was hot trash.
Bizarre. Yeah. It was like New York summer, stinky.
Without question, he earned it because people realize your record as a pitcher doesn't carry a lot of weight. I'm not going to say it's completely worthless, but to a certain degree it is. So I don't mind Seattle finally pulling through. And as I mentioned before, my favorite player of all time, former Seattle Mariner before he came to Cincy, favorite pitcher of all time, was a Mariner before he decided to go into the Hall of Fame as a Arizona Diamondback. Okay, he gets his World Series there, but Randy Johnson should have went in as a Seattle Mariner.
Where did Randy Johnson get his 300th win?
San Francisco.
There you go.
Yeah,
So,
that was a layup because you just asked the question because
yeah,
you're a
so you
Giants fan.
knew it was, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I knew that
So
was coming. Where
you're
to
like,
kill a bird? Where to kill a bird, dude? Everyone's seen that 10 million times. Well, I just want to talk about the San Francisco Giants here. I want to feel better about my life.
hey, did you guys see Heat? Yeah, that movie's old, but I want to talk about it now. So, yeah, I think we agree Seattle there. And then I get that you're not as much of a Dodger hater, but you are for,
Oh, I hate
like,
the Dodgers. Don't
and
you worry. I still hate those
I
fuckers, but
get
not
it
as much as you. Yeah.
because of the way they just they're the Yankees of the National League, and so like, yeah, you love to
Mm-hmm.
hate them. But I will say the story is so much obviously the Brewers, and when they beat the Cubs, I was watching live, and it was really cool to see the fans keep going like this and looking up and pointing. Bob Euchre, like
Yeah.
that was pretty cool, I gotta say, because I have beloved people that call the games in San Francisco and Kruk and Kite. Those
Sure.
guys are older than dirt, and they're not going to be around forever. And the city's going to be a hot mess when those guys, because we love Hunter Pence calling games, we love Dave calling games, but like it's just not Crook and Kite. And so I get it. That Euchre is like up there, man. Like I'm on board. So like how can you not, it's almost like how can you not be romantic about baseball? Well, how could
You
you
taught
not
me
want the Brewers?
you taught me something new about that because I saw them do that and I thought it was just them saying, God, you finally let us have one.
All about
Things were
Bob
tough.
Euchre.
Things were tough after Bob Euchre left. It's just nice to finally win one.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean I think the whole country is probably on board. They want to see, the Dodgers offense do their thing. They want to see Mookie get triples and run around the bases. They want to see home runs by Freeman, and they want to see someone hit a home run and strike out a batter because he is amazing. I get it. But like at the end of the day, I think they want Milwaukee to do Milwaukee things, which is lead the whole world in
Beer,
infield
brats. Got it. Okay, thanks.
babes, baseball, beers, beats,
Boobs.
Battlestar Galactica.
Got
So
well said.
they
Two office references there in about the last minute and a half.
solid. We need a ding like every time. No, they lead the league in infield hits, things like that. They're grinders.
Small ball.
You love to see that. Playoff baseball, every hit matters. 2 out hits get you to heaven, as well known. So
That's in the Bible.
yeah,
I believe
the
it's
book of hesitations.
it's a book of hesitations.
It's
Okay.
after
Yeah.
Lamentations, yeah. So
Tracking.
I just think the whole world, because we don't count Canada. So I think it's Seattle Milwaukee, and I don't think it's close, right?
That we
I mean,
want.
which is
I
the most
agree.
weirdest World Series in World Series
Right.
history.
Well, and
Like,
if they do that, I hope the Mariners wear their throwback jerseys to the blue and yellow. So basically, we have two teams with the same jerseys out there. Because you watch the original, go back to the Griffey Senior, Griffey Junior Seattle Mariner days before I was born, and they look like they're the Milwaukee Brewers. It is uncanny.
UCLA colors and Golden State Warrior colors. I'm in.
Okay, god damn, dude! Like this isn't about San Francisco.
What? Then I don't want to do the show. Like, what are we
He's
doing?
like, I'm wearing this shirt tonight. It's going to be all about me. Got to stay up with the Indiana Hoosiers. All right, dude.
So let us be depressed for a little bit, because seriously, there's no way I'm being a homer. Ti was on the group chat, even on vacation. There is no argument to be had. The only argument is who is number 2, 3, 4, and 5. The best linebacker in the galaxy is Fred Warner. I don't even know if it's close right now on who is number 2, 3, 4, 5. I just don't. It is not up for debate. There's no person on earth that would say, I'm pretty sure. No, it's just a general consensus that Fred Warner is the best linebacker in football. And it is so disheartening to see every good player from your favorite team just week by week just not just not play, but go on either IR or be just completely dunzo. You got Bosa, Fred Warner with a gruesome, not, the most. It wasn't Alex Smith, Joe Theismann, Andre Ware, or not Andre Ware. Who was the kid at Louisville in the played for Patino where his bone came out?
Oh, yeah, shoot.
Andre,
Yeah,
not Ware. I thought it was Andre something.
nor Andre Rison. Dude,
Yeah.
now that you put that graphic in my head, now I'm not thinking about names at all. Now I'm thinking about bone coming through
How
skin, and
gross it
that was
was.
great.
They
And
had
how
to
they
throw the
just walked
towel
up to him
on
and
it.
throw the towel.
Yeah,
Yep.
because it was too gruesome. Like, oh God,
Oh,
like it was so bad. And that team was so
poor
good, so
bastard.
fun to watch. But
I was going to say gone but not forgotten, but we have forgotten his name. So poor bastard.
In the comments, we're gonna get crushed in the comments. That's fine because
Go for it.
we're gonna get like 10 people to let us know what his name was.
Wait, his name. We do that 3 or 4 times a month.
So
that's your homework.
it
fans.
wasn't
Let us know.
one of those. It wasn't one of those. You don't need to go Google Fred Warner injury. It's not going to be like his leg does go away, whatever. But he's obviously
don't give him
done
the
for
Kurt
the year.
Signetti treatment and Google him.
Yeah,
gotcha.
He wins. Which is all Fred Warner does. I mean, on the field, but just so frustrating. I'm not even as mad that we lost to a 5-1 team at their place. Like, it's just frustrating to like, dude, at this point, I want to fight hard and lose every game at this point. I don't even, tell me if you ever go through this. Tell me if you go through this though. I don't even want to win and get to the playoffs because I feel so bad that those guys won't even be able to enjoy it. I'd rather just lose, get a good draft pick, get our boys back, go to Chili's, and then let's revamp and see where we're at. I don't want to win now.
The NFL draft is not on a Wednesday, so you don't need reservations for Wednesday. It's the first round's on a Thursday night. Oh, and by the way, it was Kevin Ware was the Louisville Cardinal that we were thinking of.
Don't at us. So
you heard it there third.
Yeah. So I'm like, I just don't know how I feel. It hasn't even been 24 hours. So I'm like, I'm just
welcome
frustrated.
to our Tennessee world.
Yeah, but
welcome to our world.
You don't have
we
Pro
don't have
Bowl
talent.
players.
We don't have talent. Got it.
I'm just saying you don't have all world, not just Pro Bowl. Yeah. Defensive Player of the Year, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Like, these are the people that we're losing. Yeah, you might be losing guys that you see stories about and you're like, oh yeah, I love that guy. And oh, he's injured. Okay, that's cute. But it's just not the same.
Hey, Adam, do you know how many people are on the Supreme Court of the United States?
Not much of a reader. All right.
Yeah, yeah, or a counter.
I don't listen to hip hop.
So there are 9. That's also the amount of Pro Bowlers the San Francisco 49ers currently have on IR.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And Ayuk and even our second and third guys, Jawan Jennings is our third receiver. Our third. And he's been gone. It's like, what are we doing? Brock Purdy has turf toe. He's not getting the surgery, but hasn't been playing. Mac Jones,
are you guys still gonna accidentally win that division though?
Dude, that's the thing. I don't wanna.
No.
So we're tied with everyone. However, we have a tie.
You beat them all.
Yeah, annoying.
You're 3-0 in the division, and it's like, how did we get here? Accidentally on purpose.
Frustrating. So we'll see. What NFL teams actually impressed you this week?
Well, not the Dallas Cowboys, but their opponent did, who somehow is 3-3 and
stumbled into it,
sitting at 12th in the NFC when I thought for sure they would be dead last or near to last. I can't believe what Bam, Martin Scott, and the Carolina Panthers are doing out there. But that dude likes to win with teams called the Panthers, apparently. They stunned me. I mean, Bryce Young is still their quarterback last time I checked, and I don't know how much he's really contributing, but he's not as terrible as I even thought he would be. So shout out to Carolina and not share. What was it, the Kitty Mix, the Kitten Mix, or whatever that podcast was, trying to get a bunch of clicks by saying that we're quitting because we're not putting the time, energy, and effort. Well, since then they've been on a 3-game win streak.
Yeah. Now they still are a -14 for a point differential.
Oh yeah,
500.
it's not like Bryce Young's a world beater or anything like that, or anyone on that team. I'd say between them and the New England Patriots, who are actually coming to Tennessee next week, I was looking at that. I was like, okay, that game's kicking at noon, Tennessee, and I go, holy shit, New England's got a winning record.
Dude, that they did look, and you talk to here's the only thing I don't like. On all these different shows, there's probably between, and I don't know if he is anymore, between like a Teddy Bruschi, a Gronk, a what have you, there's probably 10 expatriates out there, Rodney Harrison, like
Just
in
floating.
the world of doing different shows. And here they come. Oh, I'm excited for the Patriots again. Like, okay, this isn't them. This isn't that Patriot team. It's not. That power to them, just like power to Carolina. Like, cool, they're winning some games.
You're around. Neither are going to make the postseason. At least I don't think. But I feel, Adam, is it just me, or does it feel like the NFL in its entirety is just down right now? There is no one that is that great.
I love it.
A lot of really bad teams. But you ask me who's going to win the Super Bowl, I say 1 week, well, it's definitely going to be the Bills, but they're still the Bills. And then they go out and lay an egg after egg. And then you look up and you're like, are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the best team in the NFL? That's impossible with Baker Mayfield as their quarterback.
Hello. How long are you going to go without talking about the Colts?
Dude, they survived.
They
barely survived. Bro. Against and okay, go through their schedule. Can you pull up the Colts schedule real quick?
I already have it
do
memorized.
That for me?
I already have it memorized.
There you go. Let's go through it game by game.
So, the preseason they went 1-2.
I don't care about that.
I just want to see your reaction. Like,
back to 2013. Well, it all started when a man and a woman really loved each other, and a Coke baby named Jim Irsay popped out.
Dolphins. We know what that was.
Scrub.
The Dolphins have shown a little bit of life.
But scrubs.
Broncos by 1 point. Remember that field goal.
Controversial, and the Broncos are okay, but games in Indy,
which we'll get into still that.
Not Titans, showing me that they're
the Titans.
Yeah,
were like the kittens. And then they lost to
the best team that they've played. Got it.
Chagrin of me, the Rams.
Helping prove my point.
Raiders.
Oh, great. And they beat the bricks off them.
40 to
I'm not
6,
saying the Colts aren't a good team. The Colts are a good team, but you can't stand there and tell me, well, the best team in the NFL is the Colts. Well, now you're proving my entire point that I'm bringing up, that the NFL is down. If we're making any sort of argument that the Colts are the best team, then the NFL kind of sucks from top to bottom right now.
And here's the deal. We've talked about this because of the 49ers schedule. When you're a bad team one year, you know who you get to play the next year?
The worst
bad teams from the division.
Yeah,
so I don't know what to tell you. Like they're only playing the games that are in front of them.
They weren't at the bottom of the division last year. They finished second, so they're crossing over against some teams that are supposed to be decent. They're playing all the AFC West this year, so that's why you got the Broncos, you got the Raiders both in there, and they have some decent wins. And look, the teams they're supposed to be, they're taking them to the woodshed. Again, the Colts are a good team.
That's what makes them good, because
they're not the best. They shouldn't be the best team in the NFL.
They shouldn't. But look, there's not many teams that only have one loss. I'm not counting the Packers because they have that crazy tie, which is hilarious,
and lost to the Browns. On top of that,
right? You can have a bad week, but like the fact that you also tied, that puts you
not a good
at
team
a loss.
Either.
Yeah, so you have the Bills, Steelers, Bucks, and Colts all have only lost one time.
This is insane. That Pittsburgh is going to backwalk. They're going to moonwalk, I should say. They're going to a division. Dude, seriously,
Alex called it.
Aaron Rodgers a contender to win the Super Bowl this year?
He's going to get a home playoff game. Aaron Rodgers is getting a home playoff game, dude.
Too bad they're not going to play the Jets because, well, the Jets don't even know what the playoffs are.
So we teased this earlier. I cannot fathom that you and I and our mothers could go to a stadium and we could have stood there and got 0 yards. We just stood there and we would have better output than the New York Jets. That doesn't make any sense. The New York Jets had minus 10 yards passing. Minus 10.
Things happen when you have Ohio State quarterbacks. They just don't seem to pan out in the NFL. He had one down in Houston for a couple minutes that was good, and then he's come back to earth. Just, ladies and gentlemen, again, talk to your kids. Do not draft Ohio State quarterbacks. Even if they show that they have a chance to pan out to be a decent quarterback, just don't do it.
Here's
don't be
what
the
you
Strouds.
Can do.
Don't be the Fields.
Here's what you can do. You can be the Troy Smiths. And in Madden, he's the 4th-string quarterback on the Niners. Move him up to the 1st string and just run bootlegs. They can't catch you.
Right. I'm going to show that. He's doing Heisman, the most random Heisman trophy maybe ever.
L1 would pitch the ball. Well, I would run so fast, I would beat Frank Gore's route, which means if I hit L1 and Frank Gore was on my left, it would pitch. So I was running the option. I'm not joking. I really did this. I would run bootlegs where there's a swing route with the running back, and I would just snap the ball and sprint left. That's it. Because he's so fast. He would just run, and then Gore would kind of confusingly run like the AI didn't know what to do because like that's not the play. So he's like running, and I would about to get tackled. I'd hit L1 and pitch it to
like
Gore.
30 yards, and the thing like goes flying.
Yeah. Every once in a while that would happen. But yeah, I'd pitch it to Gore. He'd run for another 7 yards. Like, oh, okay. That was the best. That was when we were really bad.
Those were the times.
That was when we had Alex Smith, when he had like 6 coordinators in 8 seconds, and Alex was a bust at that point. Then you got some continuity, and you had the same coordinator. Yeah,
can't play with him. Can't do it.
So those were the days of playing Madden. I still would win like 49-0.
Yeah. You should have hit up Mike Singletary after he gave that speech on Vernon Davis. Said, well, have you tried Troy Smith?
Yeah, like, hey, just sprint.
I'm sorry, sir. You're terminal. There's nothing we can do for you. How about Zysol?
What a joke. Just absolutely terrible. So, yeah, pretty crazy. The Jets, they jetted their way to a loss because they even did well on special teams where they pinned them, the 1-inch line, got the dreaded holding call in the end zone, got the safety. It's looking okay. I don't know. It's not looking good, but like it was looking like, well, you're up a point. Like, I don't know.
It looked like football in London is what it looked like.
Dude, we got to stop. We got to do something where just give teams, just make some teams out there. And then the winner of the London League plays the NFL maybe, because I'm not
the Jacksonville
doing this.
Jaguars. Dude, and you take that from
year.
me. I wanted to say, like, in the back of my head, I kind of want to go to an NFL game in London just to see what the experience is. But what I love most about it is all the different, like, you'll see all 32 jerseys in the stadium in one day. If you want to see that, don't go to the Pro Bowl because no one wants to go to that anymore. Go to a London game.
So I was thinking about this because it's so crazy. I know it's going back to college, but
this is your question of the week.
So that's right. I want to shift gears a little bit. This is the question of the week, and we talked about Penn State, and we've talked about coaches who have gotten just crazy buyouts. And so my question is, and it was documented 50 million to leave. Hi, we're gonna give you all this money and you get to go home. I'm in.
The world's greatest divorce, dude. Like
Yeah,
this is
it's a
reverse. Like this is how it's supposed to alimony. Like, man, what I can get 49 million in alimony money. Sign me up for my second.
So here's what I want to know. What is your buyout for something ridiculous? How much would you need paid for giving up pizza, deleting social media, or moving to North Dakota? If the government shows up to your house and says you have to do one of those, how much are you needing, and which one are you taking out of those three? Giving up pizza, deleting social media, or moving to North Dakota?
I thought instead of social media, you're going to say how much of the buyout to leave Sports Idiot Nation, because that would be the toughest one of all.
But that's part of it, because
hey,
we're
North
on
Dakota,
social media.
North Dakota is a good one because they do have some oil money up there, so it is plausible. You know, you get a job with an energy company, and hey, you got to go to North Dakota.
Well, no, you're getting a buyout.
No,
you're getting a buyout.
You're just going. Yeah. I don't have to work again. Now, wait a minute. So you're going to say I get to retire to North Dakota? Enough money to retire to North Dakota?
Yeah.
That's
what's the amount? What is the amount that you would need paid? Like $500,000? You know, what's the amount?
Plenty of money to be retired. That's for damn sure.
Right. I mean, some might say, "Hey, give me $100,000 and I'll never eat pizza again." There might. I mean, you could do a lot with $100,000.
I think pizza's the easiest one because social media, it's so tied in these days, and especially with what we do, posting on social media no more. I mean, sorry guys, you're going to have to do it all on your own. Now, if with social media, does that mean we have to eliminate podcasting as well? Or can we just not post about it?
No, that's exactly part of it. That's what I'm saying. And you have to follow us. Speaking of, follow us on all social medias in the Idiotverse. We have, with hockey season just starting and NBA getting going, we have Puck Idiot Nation. We have Hoops Idiot Nation. Of course, Gridiron. We got wrestling, Turtles. What's the movie one?
Racing film.
Oh, the racing film. Yep. Good Lord, that's like 15 idiots.
There's one called Titans. I know a lot of people forget that we do have a team in Nashville.
Don't worry about him.
He left us.
Mr. 35. He left us. Mr. 35,000. Yeah, so I am curious to see. We will get your answers on Friday. And
Mayday! Cover your brains, boys and girls. Put on your tinfoil hats, because this is Idiot of the Week.
All right, you idiots and sinners, we've already mentioned it. There have been a lot of buyouts going on right now in the world of college football. And a lot of people want to say the idiots are these coaches because they can't lead their teams to success. But in reality, they're the geniuses, especially a one James Franklin, who's getting that buyout of nearly $50 million. So Idiot of the Week, it's every institution that hires a coach, way overpays them, and then, well, gives them a bag to just get the hell out. If I'm James Franklin, I am never working another day in my life. I'm not going to North Dakota, but damn it, I'm getting the hell off social media and going and buying an island and living naked forever. Not just Penn State, though. We saw a quarterback better than Dan Marino, some would say. A one Trent Dilfer, because he has won a Super Bowl, got canned by UAB. Well, that high school experiment didn't work out. He'll head back to some institution in the greater Nashville area. And then another Trent up at Oregon State. Yes, they still have a football team, and yes, the Pac-12 still exists. Excuse me, the Pac-2 for the time being, until they add, Texas State, because that makes sense. Trent Bray after just coaching 19 games, he gets the axe as well after the Beavs start 0-7 and get blasted, not beat, blasted 39-14 against Wake Forest. Adam, would you say that's kind of blasted?
Yeah. No question. Not good.
That's all he has to say.
Not good.
We're still talking about Oregon State. Schools, if you're going to hire someone, let's have a financial advisor come in and actually weigh this before. Wait, we got to keep him around. How much do we got to pay him? Oh, that sounds good. You got the donor money? Forget about NIL. We'll figure that out later. Penn State, you had a chance to do something this year, even after the Oregon loss, the real team in Oregon, who's just slightly, not as good as the Indiana Hoosiers.
By double digits.
Yeah. At home, we own Autzen Stadium now. Wait, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, Penn State. Yeah, whatever. So, Penn State, you had a chance to still make the playoff. You decide to lay an absolute egg at your Rose Bowl. And UCLA Bruins, and then Aller goes down. You quit on the season, and now you let your coach be the next one out the door. So, Penn State, Oregon State, UAB, and everyone else that overpays their coaches and then fires them in the middle of the year, because there are more to come after next week. Y'all are the idiot of the week.
It's all bad.
All bad.
All bad. Bunch of sinners. Reminder, new episodes of Sports City Nation come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Follow us on all social media, the Twitters, the Facebooks, Instagrams, all of our idiot verse. We went through Turtles, you name it, we got it. But yeah, new episodes come every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which means we will see you Wednesday. Thank you for watching this episode of Sports Idiot Nation. Remember, we are on all social media and on YouTube, and the podcast can be found on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Remember, new episodes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And remember, because you watch Sports Idiot Nation,
you would be the smartest idiot in the whole world.